In a small, forgotten town nestled deep within a dense forest, there was an old library that had been abandoned for decades. Locals often told stories about the library, claiming it was haunted by the ghost of a librarian named Miss Clara, who had mysteriously vanished one stormy night. Curiosity got the better of a group of friends, Jake, Emma, and Lucas, who decided to explore the library one chilly autumn evening.
Armed with flashlights, they pushed open the creaking wooden door, and a gust of cold air greeted them, sending shivers down their spines.
The inside was dark and musty, filled with dust-covered shelves lined with books that seemed untouched for years. Moonlight streamed through broken windows, casting eerie shadows on the walls. As they wandered deeper into the library, the silence was almost deafening. Suddenly, Emma noticed a peculiar book lying on a table at the center of the main reading room. Its cover was worn, and it had no title.
Intrigued, she picked it up, and as she opened it, the pages flickered wildly, as if caught in a gust of wind.
The friends exchanged nervous glances, but Jake urged her to read a passage aloud.
"Go on, Emma, read something from it."
As Emma read, the air grew colder and a whisper echoed through the room.
"Help me!" It beckoned, soft but chilling.
Lucas laughed it off, trying to lighten the mood, but Jake felt a strange heaviness settle over him.
Ignoring their unease, they continued exploring.
The adventure was only beginning, and the mysteries of the abandoned library were far from over. Each room they entered seemed to come alive with ghostly echoes of laughter and whispers, but they couldn't quite make out the words.
It feels like the library itself is watching us.
Yeah, it's so eerie.
As they reached the back of the library, they stumbled upon a door slightly ajar.
Should we go in?
Hesitant but intrigued, they pushed it open.
Inside was a small, dimly lit office filled with old files and papers. In the corner sat a dusty typewriter, its keys still glimmering. Without warning, the typewriter began to clack, typing out a message on its own.
Help me find my book.
The friends froze, the reality of their situation sinking in.
Oh my God, we aren't alone.
What do we do now?
This is getting too real, guys.
Panicking, they turned to leave, but the door slammed shut. The temperature dropped dramatically and a shadow flickered past them, heading towards the shelves.
We need to get out!
Emma shouted, her voice trembling. Jake tried to force the door open, but it wouldn't budge. In a frenzy, they turned back to the typewriter.
What book?
Lucas cried out, desperation filling his voice. The typewriter responded with another message.
The last one on the shelf?
Racing against time, they dashed back into the main room, searching frantically through the rows of books. The whisper grew louder, more insistent.
Find it!
It urged. Finally, at the far end of the library, they spotted a dusty, leather-bound book on a high shelf, glowing faintly in the dark. Emma climbed up to retrieve it, her heart pounding. As she pulled it down, the whispers escalated into a cacophony of voices, each one crying out for help. With the book in hand, they hurried back to the office. The moment Emma placed it on the typewriter, it began to type furiously.
Thank you.
The door swung open, and the oppressive air lifted as a warm breeze swept through the room. Without looking back, the friends raced out of the library, the whispers fading behind them. They stumbled into the moonlit night, breathless and shaken. As they turned to catch their breath, the library stood silent, its secrets hidden once more. Though they escaped, they would never forget the ghostly librarian who had reached out from the past, reminding them that some stories are better left undisturbed. And every time the wind howled through the trees, they could almost hear her whisper,
Thank you for my book.